G'day and welcome to Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs, the greatest podcast this side of Newstead in Queensland.
Newstead in Queensland?
Yes. We'll talk more about that later.
Okay, I'm up for it.
Now,
hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs, mate. We've got a big one.
we have got a whopper. Whopper.
We have got a whopper and...
Well, I've got a whopper, yours.
Well... You're so cruel. You've only got to make one person happy, mate. Me. Now, everybody will have seen the thumbnail.
Yes.
And we're introducing a new segment to the show, and we're going to go straight to that segment.
Straight after we talk about it, who's bringing us the
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, first we're going to talk about our sponsors because, well, we want to.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Well,
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends and one arsehole at HOGLIGHTS.
yes.
They're the headlights we recommend, mate, aren't they?
They are sensational.
They are good. But
They are
I was out the
sensational.
other night with them, mate, with it again, and it's just, yeah. I've spoken ad nauseum about my HOGLIGHT, mate. People are probably bored with it, but how good is it?
You know, and of course, Resurgence Gear. Thanks again to Aaron for
Yep.
getting behind us with everything he does.
Yep, especially he's got behind a couple of our competitions we've got
He has.
going at the moment, which we'll discuss a little bit more about later. And,
The good folks down at Geelong Harley Davidson.
well, they are good folks, mate.
They are very good folks.
They are.
They look after
I
us.
tell you what, I saw a picture of our friend Cole today.
Yes.
He was a good-looking rooster as a young fella.
What are you saying? He's ugly now.
I never said that. And Corbin seats. We'll
Yes.
have an update on Whitey's Corbin seat, my Corbin seat, a little later in this show. But first of all, we're going to introduce that first new segment, mate.
Yes.
We've decided we'd like to show you some of the Flogs Hogs.
Yes.
So,
This segment is called
Flogs Hogs.
Flogs Hogs.
And today we thought we'd kick it off with a big one. So we thought, instead of going and seeing a bike that's owned by a flog,
Yes.
let's go see a plethora of bikes owned by one flog.
Yep.
And that one flog is Cole himself from Geelong Harley Davidson, mate.
Mm-hmm.
So we were lucky enough today, weren't we, to be invited into the inner sanctum.
It was a great day. We,
A lot of fun.
Yeah, Cole took us to his place and looked at his obviously prized possessions there. His choppers and his bikes that he's built himself.
Oh, I'm a jealous man.
Yeah, they were just.
I'm a jealous man, mate. There's some. Why don't we throw to the tape? Let's head down to Geelong Harley Davidson first.
All right, to kick this off, we're down here with Cole, and what better way to kick it off than to show you Cole's bikes, the ones that he's built. And we've come down here to Cole Central, and we're going to go through his actual personal bikes that he's built himself. So, mate, you lead us. We'll just look at this one here. So what's this one we're looking at?
Well, the frame was a 66 generator shovel frame. It's an S&S shovel engine in there, but it's probably the most custom bike that I've built. I just made most everything on this. The frame, I tried to maintain all the integrity of the frame to put it back, but I haven't bothered. Now, I could still put it back to a 66, but we made everything else. I wanted no struts on the back guard, so that guard was narrowed and it's had big steel plates put into the side of it to give it some strength. So that's custom. The front mudguard's a touring mudguard that's been narrowed right up. Mounted on, it's a genuine Harley Springer. Just all custom stuff.
So did you do like all the pipes and everything yourself?
Yep. Yeah, that's the second set. I had the first set of pipes that had fishtails on it, and I wanted one on each side, so I went ahead and did that. Everybody said you can't put twin pipes on this frame, and anyway, it turned out they were right. You couldn't, so I had to make up. The chain ran right through the centre of the pipe, so it came out through here and it went up here. But I just made this up just out of what I had laying about, just a chain tensioner. It works fine. I took the twin fishtails off because I didn't like the sound of it. It was too raucous.
Too clacky?
Too clacky, yeah. So.
And what about this setup here? Does that, like, how do you go with, like, do your jeans get caught in it at all or anything like that?
Oh, it does happen. There's plenty of people who've been hurt by them.
Yep.
There should be a cover on it, though. You put another one of these on the front.
Yep.
and they come with, well, you can buy them with you can cover anything if you want to, but I just like that open look, so I left it like that. So
how long have you had this one?
Oh, probably about 10 years now, maybe not quite that long, 8 years. I built it up. So that chopper that Danny rides around on, Danny Hayes, has got that gold one there. Well, I built that for myself about 14 years ago. And I didn't sell it to him straight away, but when that sold, I was sort of without a chopper, so I built this one. And I wanted it a bit more comfortable, so that's why I used the Jenny shovel frame, because it's got rear suspension.
Yep.
And it is comfortable. You can ride this all over. I've taken this right down to Gippsland and back, and I rode this out to Ballarat to meet Danny when he come back on his monkey bike that time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I think it was a different colour then. I think it was, where it's black now, it was cream back then. But it's a good bike to ride. It's got a, it's a hand clutch foot shift. That's the dip switch. A lot of young people probably won't know what that is.
For the headlight?
For the headlight, yeah. So that's
like an old Holden.
High beam should come up on the
Yeah,
deck.
it does.
Yeah,
That's cool.
something a little bit different.
It's the little things on it though, mate, like the fins on the oil tank.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to duplicate the engine look and keep the fins going. People think it's
really
a breakout tank, but it's not. It's an old soft tail tank that I cut and narrowed to fit, shaped it so it follows the frame, and then I just had cut these out and welded them on just the outside, just for looks. It doesn't really do anything. It probably transfers a little bit of heat, but.
And what's this here?
Oh, that's my hometown in New Zealand.
Yep.
There's a guy over there called Nucky Ronicky, and he was building choppers back in the day, and he still does a few, so he sent me some stickers. So that's just a tradition from New Zealand.
And
made in Te Puke.
This guard here, see how the number plate's recessed? Did you do that yourself, or?
Yeah, that's all
That's really
recessed
cool.
in.
That looks really nice, doesn't it?
Well, one of
like
the guys that runs a little shop here in Geelong gave me this taillight. I think it's out of a 32 Ford or something like that. And that was the start of this whole bike. I thought I'm going to build a bike around that taillight. Now that it's finished, I don't like the taillight, but it's there. So I moulded it. See, made a steel plate to fit that and welded it on and then shaped it all. And that's cut down. It's got an LED up under there. I think it still works. Yeah, see the LED for the taillight.
Yep.
I cut that all in and recessed it in, all pretty proud of myself, and then it started rubbing on the tyre, so I've had the curve, see the number plate's curved?
Yep.
Well, that's because I've had to cut the centre out of the recess bucket and put a curve in there to give it a bit of tyre clearance. So. But it rides really well, so.
Unless you happen to be the pillion. Because I'm tipping that's not a pillion-friendly seat, my friend.
Not too many.
Not too many pillions are going to love that.
Nowhere for their feet either. So.
No.
And this little touch here?
Another touch back to the homeland.
A florin. 1961 florin, mate.
Yeah,
That's a cool looking bike.
It's just you won't see another one like it, so. Pretty cool.
See what happens when you don't work with professionals? They leave their phones on. That's a slab, actually. So you got the P&M brakes and all that sort of stuff?
Oh, that was a funny story. We lost a customer over that particular caliper. He ordered it, wanted it, and it was on his bike for about 4 years, and then he came in and completely cracking the shits because the bleed nipple was, the bleed nipples are tiny on these PMs. Where the hell is it? Under here, they're so small. Look at the size of that. Anyway, he complained that it was rusty, and then he carried on and reckoned it wasn't working properly and demanded that we provided a new one, which was a little bit unfair considering it's not a Harley part. But anyway, we did that, and I had that as the takeoff part, and I decided I was going to prove that there was nothing wrong with it, so it went on there. That bracket just sort of started as a good idea and grew. If I wanted to get a bit clever, we could probably make a far nicer bracket than that. But anyway, it's on there and it works. So
I personally love the front end. I love what the springers look like. I reckon it's just a very, very cool looking. What do they ride like with the Springer?
I think there's nothing wrong with them at all. They don't have the performance, like rebound capability of a hydroscopic or anything like that. But I like them. I don't have an issue with them. I prefer them actually.
Do you have to adjust them often, or they?
Oh, you've just got to keep the pivots lubricated up and keep an eye on your axle. They can come and work a bit loose sometimes, but a little bit of blue Loctite on there seems to hold them together. No, they're not high maintenance. They've just got to, you know what you're doing.
Yep.
So you've got to take the spring tension out of them, and then you can check all your pivots and make sure the bushes aren't worn, because these are 2 pivot points here. and they run up through. That's a pretty agricultural slide up there, but no, they work good.
It's a beautiful
I don't know
little
what
machine.
happened to me. I had a real flash shock on here for a while, but I think it's on Danny Hayes' bike. I never got around to stealing it back before I sold it to him. So
Now, what about this beast here?
This is my favourite, mate.
Is it?
This is my favourite of your collection. I love the panhead. I think the panhead is just the coolest looking motor. And this
That's
beast
my favourite.
with its, I don't know, it's a throwback to the groovy 60s, isn't it?
It's
It
my
is.
favourite engine as well, the panhead. So.
Suicide shift.
That one is, there's not actually suicide shift, there's a wrong terminology, it's suicide clutch.
Suicide clutch, okay.
So it's a hand shift with a suicide clutch. And the reason it's called that is because when Harley had them, I don't think I've got bike up here with a foot clutch, but you rock it over and it stays there, so you can hold 2 feet at the traffic lights. But if it's not adjusted correctly and the bike's vibrating a bit, it'll engage itself and shoot you off into the traffic, hence the reason it was called suicide clutch. But it's a hand shift suicide clutch.
Yeah.
I had a little tiny gear lever on the bloody thing down mounted off here, which is what all the young blokes are doing, just a little stick sticking out in. But you've got to take your hand off the bars to change gear and reach down behind yourself, and you know what rotor cuff injuries are like, it was too hard.
Yeah.
So I stuck it in front of me so I could see the bloody thing, but so I haven't finished all that, it's got to be chromed, and these bars turned up. I kind of, when I'm building a chopper, I don't set out with a plan, I never sort of have, they build themselves. And so you start and you just start doing things and it'll happen. So these headlights were side by side on that bike originally, and they look bloody stupid. So I put them on here, and I don't mind the look on there. Those headlights come off the American police cars. They have that handheld thing.
Yeah.
So that's what those buckets were from. And I cut the guts out of them and put a Harley Softail mount in there. And the Harley Davidson side lights that go in the latest touring bikes, they're in there. So, so they all, they're pretty bright. That one's aimed up in the air, that's high beam. That one's low beam, but they work, so.
So, question, like with the hardtail frames, do you get a whatever frame, a softail frame, and modify it, or do you buy the frame as is? That how you normally do it?
Oh, I've never modified a Softail frame. I don't think that would be much value in it. They do buy a bolt-on or weld-on segment. I think Luke at Gaugeworks, I think he does those out there. But most of these are old frames. I prefer to build them on an old frame to give it a bit of authenticity. There's a 53 pan back at work. We'll have a look up on the veranda. That's got the original frame.
Yep.
This isn't. This is a, I don't even know what brand this frame is. I got it off a bloke was advertised on Marketplace.
Yep. So you can actually buy aftermarket frames and then build them from there.
You can buy anything now, particularly if you start shopping in America as well.
Yep.
ROLLIES, that's all right. That's a S&S panhead motor in that as well. They look exactly the same. A lot of the parts are interchangeable too, ironically. But
so what are the implications with getting them roadworthy and all that sort of stuff? How
it's
do
an absolute fucking nightmare. Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah.
So you've got to build something like this. You have to build as an ICV, which stands for individually constructed vehicle, and you've got to have an engineer look at each step of the way, the frame, the welding. If you do any frame welding, it's got to be inspected, and in a lot of cases it's got to be x-rayed or carbon tested. So it becomes quite dramatic. What most people do is get numbers off another motorcycle, like a wrecked Sportster or something like that.
Yep.
I haven't done that with these are actually registered. That's a 62, registered as a 62.
Yep.
So am I.
And it's both of those bikes are both electric start. This isn't meant to be. I actually built an electric start system set hanging out the back down there.
Yep.
Because I'm just too old to kick them over now. It shits me. And it'll take one kick per person watching to start the bloody thing. So if you're at a bike show, it can be all day kicking the bloody thing. So.
Yep. There's a saying that goes with a Kickstarter, the amount of kicks is directly proportional to the amount of people watching you trying to kick the thing started. So that's
exactly right. So that's that. Yeah, that's the chopper. This is probably my favourite bike.
This one?
That's a real panhead. That was one of the original Satan Sinners club bikes back when the Satan Sinners was still around. This guy called Slater, and he worked for me for a while. And I used to go out and look at this thing parked in the car park, back in the, I'd like to think last century, really now. And I always really liked the bike, but I finished up.
Spin around because that glaring. Go for it.
Finished up getting it off him, and I haven't done anything to it except we recode the motor and went right through it. Did everything, head stem, swing arm bushes, but it's a 57, registered as a 57, but in fact it can't be because it's got a swing arm back end, so it's got to be a 58.
Yep.
But I'm just leaving it as Slater had it in the club days, just a real tribute to the club. It didn't have these bags on it when Slater had it because he didn't bat for the other team at all. They're
I was actually going to say, mate, these are a little bit...
they're my touch. I'm going to get them painted black eventually. But...
May I recommend sooner rather than later?
Yeah, they're an acquired taste. That's good. I put an electric start on that too, just because I couldn't kick it over. So I've done a couple of them now. I actually quite like it. It blends in good. The starter's sitting up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little torque arm to hold the reaction, and it seems to work quite well.
That's ripper, isn't it?
That is cool.
Yeah, if it's not pointed out, you can't. A lot of people don't even notice it.
No, and that's
the thing about it, isn't it? Is that it's nicely hidden. It still looks original, but the fact that you can, don't have to break your leg every time you want to start your bike is a bonus, one would suggest.
What's it like getting like parts for these things now? Like, do you have to go to swap meets, or are they still readily available if you're buying them, overseas, or are they still making them?
Yeah, they're still made overseas. You can still pick them up at swap meets, but if you get original parts, they're usually rooted because that's why they're off the bike,
Yeah.
So there's you've just got to be in the know really, and guys like Chris Wells, Dave Reedy, Gunner, remember Gunner?
Yeah, Gunner, yeah.
They've got shed loads of stuff. I've started to collect a bit about me as well, and you don't sort of sell any of it. You swap it with people for stuff you need.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. But you can get repost just about everything now.
Okay.
If you wanted it, so
That's cool.
But I wanted that bike to be original. Well, I want to say original. It's nothing like an original 57 or 58. They didn't come out with twin discs, etc. I just wanted that to stay the way Slater had it. So
Yeah.
Front of it's 100% original bike now. There's only the air cleaner to go on that, and that's back to 100% original, and there's the air cleaner for it under there. I've got one, so. So that's an FXRS. That's the old bread box filter to go on it.
Nice.
Pretty ugly and horrible, and that's why everybody took them off. Because they're horrible. But if you want to put it back to the original, that's what you need.
So what's this other one over here?
That's it, the FXRS.
Phew.
It's an 82 model. They've become quite collectible, but that's probably the most reliable old bike I've got. That'll probably start now compared to the rest of these bloody things.
That's a cracker.
When we were over in Milwaukee last year getting our trophy for, I won't say it, when we were picking up our trophy.
What'd you get the trophy for?
Oh, just about everybody's getting a trophy nowadays, so I'm not really sure what it was. They
Participation award, mate.
No, it wasn't. No, it was Dealer of the Year in our weight division.
Wow.
But how
good's that?
But I was talking to Bill Davidson over there, and he remembered the bike. Because I rode this down to Terrelgan when they came out here all those years ago, and he remembered riding beside it on the road coming home. So he was a bit of a passion for them. Well, it's his bike. His dad designed that one, so.
That's why.
It doesn't have those saddlebags. Well, I've got a bit of a thing about the wrong saddlebags, don't I?
I know.
It's got FXRS on there, but I bought those stickers at the bloody speed shop, so they're just sports saddlebags. But it's pretty. It's really original.
So what year's that again?
82.
82. Cool, looking unit, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
mate,
It's just so original.
Yeah. These are the sort of the Harleys I used to. Oh, get your camera on.
Yeah, hang on.
The cool part about this one to me is these are the bikes that I was looking at in the shops when I was, a young fella. The ones that I couldn't afford.
Yeah.
You go into Harley Heaven in Melbourne and you do
Harley City.
Or Harley City or there used to be a lot more shops in bloody Elizabeth Street, didn't there? And you just look at them and you go, one day,
Yeah, and you just thank Christ you didn't have the money, because boy, they were unreliable pieces of shit back in the day. They really were. You could get a CB Honda CB750 or
Yeah.
they were
Yeah,
pretty reliable.
but even in those days, you knew you could probably get the Honda, but I don't know. I always wanted the Harley.
Yeah.
Always. And
Yeah, it's a romantic
yeah,
thing.
it took 50 years, so.
Oh, they got brakes now.
Yeah, overrated, really.
They really used to take deposits on a bike, and you could on the shovels, and you'd wait up to 6 months for one to come in.
Yeah.
And you didn't choose a colour. It was open the box. This is yours. That's the colour you get. You know, you don't want it. That's fine. There's a big list of people. So
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to build it, start building a hardtail now or whatever, where do they start? What would you recommend?
Oh, it depends how much money you've got. That's really the secret of it. But if you bring ROLLIES up there in Queensland, you can just about buy everything. But you'll need a good checkbook. But
Yeah.
he'll be able to. They can help out with most everything. There's a Craft Tech company called Craft Tech make frames. I'm not a huge Craft Tech fan myself.
Yep.
But they can be, you can buy them. You get certified paperwork with them, and you need all that for an individually constructed vehicle.
Yeah. So you can still buy. They do like repo pan head motors and.
Well, that's what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
This is well, it's not a repo, but it's what they call an S&S motor.
Yep.
So S&S actually been making production and reproduction parts for Harleys forever, and for a long time they were a better quality than Harley. I'm not 100% sure where they're at now. I believe they've released a 143 Milwaukee 8 engine that's going to be reliable. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of the parts will transfer from this to an original panhead. So
Really?
yeah, these go about as hard as an Evolution, possibly a little bit harder. So you've got an old looking piece of shit that can give you quite a nasty fright if you open it up. So.
Yeah. And what's this other one here?
That's the Nimbus.
What's that?
That is just the most
That's
beautiful.
Harry Potter's first bike, mate. This is the Nimbus 100, as opposed to the Nimbus 3000 or 2000 or whatever it was that he flew
I
around.
don't imagine you bloody Harley buffheads that appreciate the engineering in a Nimbus.
So,
Oh.
where does the Nimbus come from?
What's he saying?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is a fact, well, as much as I can verify it, 80% of all Nimbuses ever manufactured are still on the road and registered.
So obviously it.
Incredibly reliable.
Yeah.
The post office used them over there, the police used them. When they introduced some other new bike, the police wanted their Nimbuses back because they were so reliable. They obviously don't do a lot of high-speed chases
No.
over there, and they don't go around corners because that's a flat mild steel frame, gets a bit of a wiggle up when you go around. But I found that
An interesting looking unit, isn't it?
Oh, it's
Look at this.
I mean, I was going to say, when you get down and look at the
Look at that.
open
How
valves
cool
and-
is that?
This one's pretty original too. It's still got the air pump on the side of it, and the tools are still in the toolbox. There's your pump.
I love the pump. The pump just cracks me up.
The toolbox is still down there.
Straight off the Malvern Star, that, mate. It's a ripper. So, Cole, why a Nimbus for you, though?
I inherited it. Well, I didn't inherit it. I went and bought a barn load of bikes. So there was 5 or 6 Harleys. Nothing that I kept, to be honest. There was 2 Triumphs that were really good, and I wished I'd kept those. But a Silver Jubilee, Bonneville, and a 49 Triumph pre-unit. But I had a bloke in a street sweeper go past here one day, and he looked in and saw the bikes and backed up, come running in, and he just fell at his knees beside the Silver Jubilee and said, I want this bike. And I said, what have you got? And he had that bike. That's a 65, that's the very last panhead. So that's a 65 panhead, and he had that in his shed. And he didn't want it. So I did a deal on the 2 Triumphs, and I gave him some folding his way, and I got that 65, which is 100% original. So the only thing that's missing is the police red lights and stuff.
I actually remember that. I remember when that came in. I was actually at the shop when you I think you just got it. I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember it being there.
Yeah, well, Squid up in Ballarat's got the siren and the lights and everything for it, and he's going to give them to me, but he's been going to give them to me for about 8 years now. But that's it. Yeah, so this is the first electric start big twin Harley. So it came from factory. Might even go. I don't really look after them anymore. All these bikes were down at the shop. and they got looked after and started regularly and all that sort of stuff.
Well, they could be part of your museum there, mate.
Oh no, we're not allowed a museum, mate. We've got to have pictures of bikes down there now. Anyway, don't start me up on that. What I need to do to this, I need to choke it. And one click. I don't think it's going to go. It's been sitting there too long.
Sure,
Yeah,
close.
It's got plenty of blood.
She's not going to start. I've fucked up the fueling somehow. No, now I've got to pull the plugs and clean them and generally. Oh, I know what I didn't do. It's a bit embarrassing.
Turn the petrol on?
Didn't turn the fuel on. Well, I did. It's got another tap on the side there, but this one must be working.
Your guru at work.
Yeah. Potato.
Oh, just not enough.
It's not actually healthy for them to oil with that.
That is a beautiful looking unit.
How cool is that?
Well, I'll turn both the fuel taps off this time.
Now,
That is a nice unit, mate.
what's this one here, Cole?
Yeah, I don't know whose it is.
It's not yours, I know that much. So, any plans for doing another one? You got any plans moving forward?
I really only ever want one more.
Which is?
One more. I haven't actually thought about it yet, but
I just realised on this, it says stop.
Yeah, in the stoplight.
How cool's that?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty standard. They is it going?
Yeah.
Just hit that brake thing.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah, there it goes. Does work.
That's cool.
There's another one you can get with fuck off in it, but I thought that was rude.
Well, I'm bloody, what's the name now, Paul? I'm tossing up between this one
Yeah.
or the police special. Now that we've started out, that is as cool as.
Yeah.
And you got to get those lights, Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's got them?
Squid.
Squid?
Squid.
Give him the bloody lights, mate. Come on.
See if this will go. Fuck, the trouble with all these different chopper things I've built, you got to remember the starting sequence on it.
Should come with instructions.
They should.
We have light.
Jeez.
No, I'm going to call that one flat.
Yep.
And that's got a battery I made to go in there, so I'll show you that because that's a bit funny. Wow, pinning here. Look
Under
at
the seat.
It's running an original early panhead style oil tank, and you can only fit a 12-volt battery in there. So I took one of those new, what do they call them? Not LED. What are those?
Lithium.
Lithium.
Yeah, lithium battery, and I fucking carefully ran the saw through it and took 2 inches out and put it back together and glued it in there. It's actually working, so, but it hasn't been on
That's
charge.
a Tesla designed battery. You took 2 inches out of a battery.
Yeah, that's
Who does that? Who does that?
Yeah, they don't like sitting around. You got to buddy
Run 'em.
That's why I got to run them and ride them. They just don't like hanging about. You know.
Well, if you ever in the ever need someone to take it for a little spin.
Have you ridden one of these?
No.
Bridget? Oh, you'll love it.
No, I'd love
About
it.
an hour.
After about an hour, yeah, I'll be.
Oh, no, they kill you. And there's
Well, I actually want to make one. That's why I'm asking all the questions, because I actually want to do one myself.
oh, there's a bit more to it. Let's see if this fucker will start.
How good does that sound?
Yeah.
Oh, did.
That's fucking, that is ripper.
So, all right. If all of them had to go and you wanted to keep one, which one would it be? That one over there.
The FXRS.
I thought you might have been.
That'll actually start, I would think. I'll be a little bit disappointed if it doesn't. And once again, what have I got to do? Fuel on. It's going to make a prick of me. So, I'd probably take this one. No, she's not happy either. They've all got the shits of me because they're not allowed at the shop anymore. When they were sitting down there, as I said, they got looked after.
That's the second reference you've made to that, Cole. What do you mean they're not allowed at the shop anymore, mate?
Oh, well, Harley, you're wanting them off the veranda down there to put up some lifestyle photos of the Hog Club, which is evidently that'll attract more people to the shop and sell more t-shirts.
You're not allowed to say anything here. What a stupid idea. Mate, it's like a museum down there. I mean, to me, it looks fantastic having all the old bikes down there. And what, they're going to put up some photos? Really?
You'll get me in trouble.
Sorry. But,
Hey, the views of the views of the participants in this video are not necessarily the views of the owner.
That's exactly right.
54.
Oh my God.
This is bloody awesome, isn't it?
On this side.
How good does that sound?
Got adjustable suspension. We got bigger ones for you. Cute, isn't it?
Holy Toledo. How cool does that sound?
I just like the East Coast.
I know.
Yeah, bloody just so cool, isn't it? Absolutely sensational. And Paul, have a look at the suspension on the seat. It's not just a spring. Have a look at what it's a rubber band. Fucking rubber band, for Christ's sake. I haven't seen that before.
The pillion seat down at the shop. It's exactly the same. It just sits up here.
Cool as all get out.
That's a hot pan head engine, so it doesn't.
Which one's that, Slater or Ginge?
Slater.
Slater. Ginge.
So it's got E35 Andrews cams and all sorts of hot shit. Slater kept hotting it up, trying to keep up with the evolutions when the club got them. And they just got it going so fast it became unreliable.
Yeah.
So we just took some compression out of it, and it's a bit more reliable now. But you're right about the saddlebags. They're certainly Mardi Gras worthy, aren't they? I got some at the shop to go on it. I just haven't got around to putting them on.
I think they're very you, Cole.
Find the time, Cole. Find the time, my friend.
What are you trying to say?
I think they're very you, Cole. I think they're very you.
Oh, I sort of thought they weren't much me, but anyway.
I can imagine Glenn Campbell riding this, mate. You know, like a rainstorm cowboy.
All right, we've gone from the personal collection. Well, it's all his personal collection.
Well, it's all his personal collection, mate, but now we're back at the shop.
the Geelong HQ.
Let me just say, mate, that Geelong HQ is looking pretty flash at the moment.
It is. Have a look at that. It's all been done up.
Holy snapping. So now he works in a posh place, and now he's going to show us some more of his collection.
I mean,
This vlog has a lot of bikes.
What a way to start a new section of the show.
Not a bad little kick-off, mate. Let's see where we can take this segment from now on.
Let's go. All right, so we come down to the showroom to have a look what's down here. All right, let's go through what you got down here. What's your favourite one here for starters? And I'm pretty sure it's that one up there, isn't it?
My favourite motorbike here would be that CVO ST over there, but it's sold. So. My second favourite would be this. But
This one?
It's sold too. We can't get these. So. That's sold. But,
I could see you on this, mate.
Yeah. At the Mardi Gras.
I was going to say, the bags are like the one you got back at home, mate.
So that's chocolate that Greg started building back in the day and couldn't get it finished. So anyway, we put that together as just a bit of a tribute for him.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. You can't really tell from down here, but every red line you can see is on a raised, it's got a steel rod welded to the frame underneath it.
Okay.
Unrideable. Handles, well, it doesn't. They shouldn't use the word handle. It's got ABS. You can't lock the brakes up on it. The whole thing's just a piece of shit, really, but it sits up there. That's our Wombat bike. Pretty cool in its own way. That's Andrea's V-Rod.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what to tell you about that. I don't know much about it. I'm not a big fan of the old V-Rod. But...
No, I must admit, it's not my favourite bike in the world.
So that's up there because it's Andrew's, I guess.
Yep. And she is the boss after all.
Well, that's absolutely. So that's a great story. That's one of the 95 anniversary Springers, I think. So I was servicing that bike and I hadn't looked at the speedo on it. And during the course of the service, I rang the customer purely to congratulate him on keeping his bike in such fantastic condition. And he said to me, well, if they can want to be, it's only done 600 kilometres. I went, oh shit, I haven't done the speedo yet. Oh, I said, well, you don't ride it much. He goes, no. I said, do you want to sell it? And he said, yep. He said, but don't. I said, I'll buy it. And he said, well, yeah, don't rip me off. I know what it's worth. I said, what do you want for it? And he nominated a number. And I added $2 grand and said, I'll give you that for it. And he goes, why would you do that? And I said, because you'll give me everything that you've got for it. And he did. The saddlebags are full of all the original paperwork. He gave me the helmet and the jacket. So it's only done about 650 Ks now. Oh. I decommissioned it straight away and just put it up there. It's like a brand new, it is a brand new motorbike, 650 kilometres. So.
Yeah, I've got to say, yeah, what a great idea is to have all these old bikes, you know, like up on that area like that to look at. Like it really, it's almost like a museum.
You're a fucking shit story, mate. I got to take them down because Harley want pictures of the Hog Club up there, evidently.
Well,
Anyway,
there's nothing wrong with pictures of the Hot Club.
that's on the other side.
Yep.
That's a 82 Sturgis. That's pretty much, apart from the exhausts, pretty much 100% original.
So that's the one that was designed on a piece of paper, on a paper bag on the way home from Sturgis by Willie G.
Willie G designed that on a brown paper bag on the way home. And it became a Sturgis. That FXRS up at the house, that's one of Willie Nelson's bikes. Willie Willie G's bikes as well.
He got killed, Willie Nelson.
He was on the road again.
On the road again.
Oh, that's as bad as it gets, really, isn't
I think I'm going to have to start writing jokes for you guys because that's bloody terrible. Willie G's still alive. They went on the road.
Yeah.
Saw him on that.
He's not much good guitar though.
Baggers the other week. He was on the Baggers show the other week.
Oh, cool. He's a great ambassador.
Yeah.
So I can't say too much, but since Willie G's no longer an active part of the design and or quality control of Harley Davidson, there's been some huge differences. It's different now. It's more about, it's just accountants trying to make money, whereas Willie had a passion for it. And unfortunately, accountants wanted to make shareholders' prices as the way of the world now, and that's it. That's where we're at. So.
Unfortunately, that is the whole way of the world.
So what we got over the other side here, mate?
It's just out front of the screen.
This bloke keeps trying to show me Pan Americas.
They've ever made.
They all want to bloody pay rise, these three salesmen. They're all sitting there. They've just put the cards away. They've been playing.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of money sitting idle just here, Cole.
These are all destined for the chop. They're not to be up there anymore.
Yep. You just going to throw them out?
crazy. That's bloody crazy.
Righto, that's a pup.
Yep.
I forget what year that is. I can't remember what year that is now. That's
27, 28?
28, I think it is. Yeah, 28 pup. That's
Look at the artistry in this next
Oh
one.
yeah, well, that's Ethel. That's a 1924 JE. I've actually drag raced that down at the Geelong Speed Trials.
Really?
It got more claps than most every other thing, but it wasn't very fast. It wasn't expected to be, so.
See, that's what I wanted to see on the beach in Invercargill, mate.
Bert
That going up against an old Polaris.
So that's what that is. That wasn't done by us. I bought that one restored.
Oh, so that was already done.
Yeah.
And what's this next one?
So that's the knucklehead that everybody wants that are worth an absolute fortune now. That's a 1946 knucklehead. Believe it or not, it was painted like that in 1947. So it was brought new from a dealer by the Booze Fighters Motorcycle Club members. And they painted it like that, painted the frame. Unfortunately, they chrome plated a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have, sort of devalued it. And then they presented it to their president, the club president. That was Jake's bike. And it's got his name on the Speedo. All the members had signed the Speedo, but we sent that back that went back to America, back to the club. And that's where it sits.
So the Booze Fighters was famously represented in Rebel Without a Cause, wasn't it? With Lee Marvin, wasn't he the?
Oh, I think,
wasn't that the Booze Fighters on the back of his jacket?
They were one of the first clubs, one of the originals. One of their members was in that staged photo at Hollister.
Yes.
One of their members actually gave them the idea, and then they used an actor and staged it. But anyway, that's
so that
history.
That paint scheme was done like that back then. Gee, that's out there for then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a bike finished up in a panel beating shop in Texas somewhere, and it's got a date on it where somebody restored it back to how it was. Unfortunately, if they'd have restored it back to how it should have been, it would be a lot. I would like it a lot more. But so I could tear it down and paint the frame black and turn it back to what it's meant to look like. But the history of the Booze Fighters Motorcycle Club can't be replaced either. So.
No.
100%. And what a wicked front wheel that's got on it.
I know.
I mean, that is like a rear wheel off most bikes. So a 46, that would be basically the first sort of run of bikes after World War II. Because that's right at the end of World War II, isn't it?
Yeah, well, so there was a lot of them were flatheads.
Yeah.
And the WLs were all flathead for military use.
Yeah.
So there was a very, very few WLCs made, and they were the citizen bike. So the WLA is quite common. There's a lot more. They're still very collectible. But, yeah, and so I guess these are a bit rarer because I can't remember the first year of the knuckle. I think it was before that, though, a long way before that. 47 was their last year of the knucklehead. Yeah. Because they went to 48. They went to the pan.
But yeah, as you say though, the war went till finished in Japan in 46, so they would have been doing all military stuff. So all the WLAs up until then. So
yeah, well,
there wouldn't have been a lot of WLCs made, would there?
No, very few. Very few.
Very cool looking bike.
They put an end to the war fairly abruptly. Didn't they?
Yeah. What did Mary Hiroshima say? What the fuck was that?
Oh, you can't say that. And this is that's a 1953. That's been mostly rebuilt by Chris Wells, I believe. I bought it off Ginge, so we call that bike Ginger. But that's the only old bike I've ever brought that we put petrol in and kicked it and it went. We've done nothing to it. It still just ran perfectly.
Another gorgeous panhead, mate.
Oh yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, that's fairly.
What's your favourite motor?
Panhead.
The panhead? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's gorgeous.
And that's the first of the shovel heads there. That's a 66 generator shovel. That's what Lola started out as, sort of up the house.
So why is the panhead your favourite? Aesthetics?
Oh, probably because it's what I grew up looking at, the Easy Rider posters, same as everybody. And one of my guys I know quite well, actually David Allen Coe, wrote a song called Panheads Forever. And that sort of influenced me too. I like that.
See, I grew up looking at the women on the photo. So
well, that influenced me greatly too. I could never keep up with the payments.
Awesome.
Mate.
What an absolutely awesome way to kick off this new segment. I think it's been fantastic.
Mate, it's going to be pretty hard for the other flogs to sort of compete, because that's a hell of a collection there, but let's see what they can come up with, eh?
Well, I see if you can get on to Dave Reedy and get up there and have a look at his collection.
Yeah?
You know Dave?
I don't know him, no. Where's he at?
Wonderful, wonderful human being. He was probably one of the best dealers in Australia for many, many years. He didn't like the way Harley was going, so he got rid of it and he's gone. But he took all his old bikes, so it's called the Harley City Collection, and he's up at Castlemaine.
Yes, I do know the one, yes.
Now, I don't know whether he's opened the museum to the public or not, but I'm pretty sure he has. But I can get your number, you can give him a ring.
Yeah, I'd love to.
But him and Chris Wells are the authority on these bikes. He's got them all.
Yep.
The only one he hasn't got is a 27S model. I got one of those. Hey, Dave.
Well, mate, what do you reckon?
Absolutely ripper way to kick off the segment, mate.
I had an absolute ball looking at this stuff. I must admit, I was very, very partial to those choppers back at Coles Place.
I was just a little bit jello.
Let's go back to the studio.
How good was that, mate?
Mate,
Oh, it was a fun day.
it was a
It
ripper
was a
day.
fun day. As I said, mate, previously, he's very politically correct, that bloke. We put up with it. And what a ripping collection of bikes.
What was your favourite?
Geez, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Obviously, the panheads, I just love the panheads.
Yep.
But that police special too was pretty special. And they all just, once you got them running, how good did they sound?
Yeah.
And that old Nimbus.
That was that.
Oh, the little-
I love how that Nimbus sounded.
Yeah.
Not just a little duvet like he's flicking up and down.
The
which was
valves
awesome.
going up and down were just cool as hell.
It was
mate.
awesome, but I love his.
You love the 82 FX RS, was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. To me, that's a but I think as I love Lola. No,
Lola, I can't remember the names of them all, mate. Christ, I don't
The
remember
red
the
one,
names
anyway,
of them. I don't remember the names of all my kids.
Yeah, I know one's Penelope and the other one's Lola.
Lola,
Can't
something
remember.
like that.
But
The red one was very, very nice.
Yeah.
In fact, as I was thinking of between the other two, the flames on the tank.
I think the red one's got a really nice stance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, if you want to go,
the more you look at it, the nicer it is.
yeah. So anyway, it was just such a good day down there. We had an absolute blast. Not to mention the bikes at the museum at Geelong Harley up there that they're trying to. Well,
Yeah.
Mate, why on earth
I
would
don't get that,
Harley
mate.
corporate want him to take those down? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, we've got to put some pictures up there, mate.
Yep.
But I don't get that myself, because I love going in there and seeing the old bikes. So to me, it's madness.
It's a reason to go and have a look around.
Yeah. That doesn't draw people into the shop. Nothing will, mate.
That knucklehead is killer.
There's just he could swap them around so much too, because as I said, he's got all the ones at home.
Yep.
And
Plus the ones out the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going on the police special.
No, I'm thinking.
Oh, here we go. He's going to sway.
I don't know, mate. No. I do like the police special because it looks like something out of Chips.
Yes.
In the old days, but I really think myself the chopper that we've all seen before.
Oh, with the suicide
with the suicide
clutch.
shift
Yep.
and the flames on the tank, and it's just beautiful.
It is a beautiful
Absolutely ripper bike. It'd be a fun to ride, even if it is a hardtail.
Yep.
And who has a collection of hardtails? The guy must have the rump of an elephant. Fair dinkum.
Yes, yeah. So that leads us into what this section is going to be, and that's Flogs Hogs. So if you've got a bike out there that you'd love to show to the on the show, and obviously you want to you've obviously put your little touches onto it, and we want you to tell us what you've done to it, what why it means a lot to you.
Not your stock standard bike though, mate. I mean, I suppose we'll start off with people with something that's a little bit special,
Yeah. So I know we're going to head down again down the road because I think we're going to
mate, I'm going to get frequent flyer points on that bloody freeway.
We're going to have some stuff from one of our other Flogs mates down there, and
down that way as well. So that'll be awesome.
That'll be awesome. So look, guys, if you want to get in contact with us through Facebook or
or the
message us,
Hogs, Cogs and 2 Aussie Flogs at gmail.com.
and we will be more than happy to feature your bike. Even if you're interstate. We'll tell you how to go about it. Take some video and stuff, and we'll.
Hey, if you live up close to any of our reps in Tassie or
Yeah,
New South Wales,
Tassie, New South Wales.
especially, give us a call.
Queensland.
And we'll have a chat with them and see if they could come out and have a quick look for us, and that would be really cool.
So 100%. So let us know if you enjoy this sort of stuff.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a great thing.
Oh, mate, look, everybody wants to show off their bike.
Yep.
But some people have just got some bikes that are really, I mean, have a look at what we saw today.
Yeah, just
I mean,
awesome. Awesome.
I'm a very
Now,
jealous
don't
man.
forget, Corbin have come on board. All you got to do is put a photo in the on the Facebook page of what you're currently riding.
Yep.
And why
you want a Corbin seat.
Why you want a Corbin seat. To the value of $2,000. We're giving it away at the end of this year.
Yep.
A Corbin seat to the value of $2,000.
And it's open to everybody.
Yep.
No matter what you ride. And I tell you what, mate, that's a big giveaway.
And not only that, Corbin now offering all the flogs 10% off.
10% off for all flogs. So if you're interested in getting yourself a new Corbin seat, and well, man, it's a good time for me to give a little bit of a review update on mine. Now, as I said to everybody when I first got on it, it was a little bit hard, mate. It was like sitting on, on a bloody plank, quite frankly. But now, after close to 2,500 Ks, I was out over the weekend. I went up through St Andrews to King Lake, and I went through the Dandenongs, and I went back up to St Andrews and King Lake yesterday. And I've got to tell you, the best part about it, I didn't even notice I was on it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Great sport. When I did think about it, I went, you know what? I'm now being supported by the seat, but I don't have any pressure points or anything now, which, because I'm only such a skinny little runt, mate, my little bony bum used to get a bit hard, but no, it's contorted to my buttocks, my friend.
Contorted.
And it has contorted, and I'll tell you what, it's becoming I still reckon it's probably going to take another, maybe 1,000 Ks. So I'd suggest, and to be honest, if you're the sort of person that only does 1,000 Ks a year, don't bother buying one, because quite frankly, it's going to take you 3 years to run it in. But if you are someone who rides, you are going to really appreciate one of these.
I think you're just using this as an excuse to get away from the tail gunner and get out and ride more often by yourself.
No, that's totally untrue.
You seem to be going
Moving on to the next subject now. Now, mate, last 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago, we had our mate Zappy.
Yes.
Now, remind me of what we were doing there. So he's going on a postie bike ride, and all the money's going to Bridge Builders.
Correct.
Which is a youth organisation that looks after kids. Absolutely ripper.
Yes.
So we had a competition. Well, it wasn't a competition, it was basically a Dutch auction.
Yes.
And the Dutch auction was for $300
shop voucher
from HOGLIGHTS.
HOGLIGHTS, yes. And Nate was going to match dollar for dollar, up to $500, whatever the bid was at the end.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, whatever the winning bid.
So if we got $300 for a $300 voucher, he'd get
$600.
Well, he'd get $300 and $500, so it'd be $800 would go to the charity.
No, he would match the $300. So if we got $300 for the voucher, he would put in $300, it'd be $600.
Right, but if we got $500 for the voucher,
he would match the $500.
He would match the $500.
Correct.
We've had a bid.
Yes.
Nate, you're going to have to spend the $500, mate.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding, mate. Because we've had a bid.
Yes.
How much do you reckon we should be able to make for Bridge Builders, mate?
Oh, I'd love to make $1,000.
Done.
What?
$1,200.
$1,200?
$1,200 bid.
You're kidding.
One of the Flogs, a good friend of the Flogs, who will remain somewhat nameless at the moment, has said to us, I will give you $1,200. So that's $1,700.
What?
Because that's his $1,200 and Nate's $500. That's
Oh my
$1,700.
God! Jesus!
Well, I actually said to said Flog last night when I was talking to him, I said, mate, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. He said, Whitey, you are never speechless. I said, I am speechless. So we have, hey, if anyone out there wants to beat it,
Nobody's beating that.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's beating that.
well, I'll tell you what, mate, I've held it in all day because I thought
I didn't know
can't
about.
wait to surprise
I didn't
you.
know about this. I didn't know about. I've actually got a bit of a teary. Jesus Christ! Holy shit!
So that'll be $1,700 coming your way, Zap, for
Bridge builders. Far out!
That's huge, isn't
That's
it?
incredible!
I know. I just,
Holy snapping arseholes, Batman! Jesus!
So, it's going to be hard to come down from that high, mate.
Far out.
I've held this in since last night, mate. I was just so blown away by the generosity. You know what? I'm not surprised when it comes to this bloke.
Oh, that's
And
incredible.
you know who you are.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Jesus.
I wish I was sitting in Zap's room right now watching this, at his place watching this.
Oh man.
So, Zap, there you go, mate. I think we've achieved. Well, once again, we've achieved well beyond what we expected, mate.
Oh my God, I'm blown. Oh, that is incredible. All I'm going to say, $500, $1,000. Jesus Christ, we've blown that out of the water.
It was funny because he texted me last night. He says, I'm not sure 100% where do I put this? I said, just put it in the show notes, mate.
Yeah.
And I went, well, okay. He said, I've put something in there. And I went and had a look at it and said, everybody get on board. I went, well, that's a nice thing for him to say.
Yeah.
He said, was that the right place? I said, yeah. He said, well, all right, just a minute. And then he said, go back and have a look. And I went back and had a look, mate. And I actually went back to him and I said, mate, you've screwed up. He said, what? I said, you put an extra 0 on the end. He said, oh, did I? Shit. Nah, I'm only joking. He says, no, that's 100%, mate. I confirmed every step of the way with him because I didn't want to come on here. And I've got to tell you, only because I was so blown away.
Shit.
It's big, isn't it? That is big. That's what we can do with this show, mate.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Unbelievable. Mate, thank you very, very much. And I'm sure Zap thanks you even more.
And he had a message for you.
Yes. I know. Now I know exactly who it is. You can get fucked too. Oh, you're a legend.
He's
You're
a legend. He's a legend. And hopefully,
I'm blown away.
he's going to join us on our next run.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, 100%, mate.
Because I will buy him a beer. Or three.
Geez, I thought the $1,200 was a big shock. Bloody hell.
Look out. Look out. Oh, mate, that's incredible.
All right, let's move right along.
Yeah. Oh.
Why is there a smile on my dial? And let us say we've got a massive announcement to make now,
Yes.
haven't we?
Could it be because
It could be.
the fine folks at ROLLIES and Legend Suspension have come on board as sponsors of the show?
Oh, mate, it's huge.
And they have...
Huge. It's been hard to keep this a secret. It has been hard to keep this a secret, but now
The whole fleet.
the entire fleet of Flog bikes,
Yes.
your Road Glide, my Road Glide, my Fat Boy, and
My Vicla.
your Vicla, all now sport
Legend.
Legends suspension.
Front and rear.
Front and rear. And, you know, everybody will have seen me bitching about Harley suspension over... All I can say is it is highly likely that the people at ROLLIES, speedshop.com,
Yes.
and Legends Suspension from Sturgis,
Yep.
who we've been speaking with Mary over there and AJ up at ROLLIES, and they've fitted us out with suspension front and rear, and I can say that I test drove it in anger on the weekend for the first time. You're a crap friend. You're a crap friend because we've known each other how long now? What, 18 months?
Too long.
And all that time, you haven't forced me physically to go out and get some Legend suspension, mate, because the difference it's made to the bike.
Now,
Mate,
I have been prattling on about this I've had Legend suspension on since I had my
Street lights?
No, since I had the Ultra.
The Ultra.
I had the Legends on that, and then I had on the Street Glide, and then I had the first thing I did when I bought The Road Glide was bang.
And this is why I say you're such a crap friend. Because I had no idea. I swear to God, on the weekend, I took it for a ride. The shock absorption's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so I actually found myself on the way back from when we had them fitted, because Cole fitted them for us down at Geelong Harley Davidson.
Yep.
Thank you, Cole. And I was actually aiming at potholes. And I'm hitting them, I'm going, no.
He now has a cracked rim.
Couldn't have been a big one.
He's now got a cracked rim, and there's
I've got a cracked rim, but I've got great suspension. No, it's absolutely, mate, the difference to the shock absorption. Shock absorption, fantastic. But on the weekend when I took it up through the St Andrews King Lake Road, which is a 12 k's of twisty road, lots of hairpins and the like, mate, the difference it has made to the handling of the bike is out of this world.
Incredible.
Now, look, I don't know what other suspension does. I haven't had, other brands. But I can tell you now, the Legends, and at a reasonable price, by the way,
Yep.
are absolutely outstanding. That bike now handles like it's on rails. I feel like I'm back on a jet bike, quite
Now,
frankly.
let's just hold that thought. Let's not go too in-depth, because we're going to do a whole show about this, about suspension.
Well, that's good, because I can crap on for hours about it, mate, because I've got to tell you, no, seriously, I have not had the smile off my face since Saturday.
It's actually getting annoying, folks, because I've got a new bike.
Oh.
He keeps sending me messages and
Oh, mate, it's just
video.
insanely good. It is insane. To get into a corner,
All
get
right.
nicely... We'll go into it further in detail, but to get into a corner and just not have to worry that the bike is going to
We get the
wallow
picture.
in the rear or dive in the... It is just... Oh, mate.
do you think he's a little bit excited?
I'm a little excited.
He's like-
I'm excited, I tell you,
He's
mate.
like a dog with two dicks.
So I'll put the links down. Now, I got the Revo A's
Mm-hmm.
on the Fat Boy and the Road Glide.
Yes.
You got the
Revo Arcs.
Revo Arc. So you got even the posher model on
Yes,
there.
yes.
With the
Yes.
ooh.
Yes.
We'll go
And-
through them, and we're both going to do individual vlogs from our channel. So
And we did front and rear.
and we did front and rear, mate, has made a massive difference.
Anyway, stop, because we're going to divulge everything.
Can we just say that we'd like to thank Legends
Yep.
and ROLLIES Speed Shop for coming on board and well, they've really put their money where their mouth is, mate. They haven't just said, here's a set of suspension. They have decked out the entire fleet, and wow, what a difference.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been advocate for them for a long, long time. And
Well, clearly not an advocate enough, mate, because...
for people who want to know, I've done about 50,000, maybe a bit more, maybe 60,000 Ks on Legends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
I
we'll
reckon
talk
you're
about
gonna have
more.
trouble keeping up from now on, mate, because I've now got another boost. I'm ready to party with them. So, looking forward to our next trip away, mate. The last couple of weeks, mate, we've had Geelong Harley Davidson come on board, Corbin seats come on board, and Legend suspensions come on board, and we're going to probably leave it at that for now.
That's it.
Because we don't want the entire show to become an advert, so don't worry about that. But absolutely wrapped that we've got all of them on board, mate,
Yep.
because they've put their faith in us and on our viewership.
Yep.
So, yeah, all we can say is support the people that support us.
correct.
Now, got a little competition we were talking about last week, which is the perfect 2-week ride.
Yep.
And we've had a couple come in, mate. There's a couple of really interesting ones come in, and this is going to go for a little bit of a while, this 2-week ride competition, so we get a good number in. And it's basically simple. You show us your 2-week ride
That you'd love to do.
that is you'd love to do. And the reason we picked 2 weeks is because that's half of what we get for public holiday. Annual holidays
holidays.
here in Australia. Most people get about 4 weeks. So 2 weeks, a 2-week trip away is sort of achievable, isn't it? So,
I should have become a teacher.
well, yeah.
Phew. Could you do some rides as a teacher?
Hey, well, what do they get? About 12 weeks a year.
Yeah. Not bad.
Oh, I know the emergency services, they get about 9 weeks a year.
Yeah.
You gotta pick a job that gives you lots of holidays, mate. I picked one recently. It's called retired.
Yeah.
I never get a break. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, mate. It's a tough.
Flat out.
It's a tough gig. Someone's got to do it.
Flat out doing fuck all.
Yeah, but I didn't get it all done yesterday, so I've had to reschedule some of it for next week. So, so anyone who's got or would like to put together is going to be a ripper prize on this.
So where do they send it?
They can either send it to us at hogscogsandtourseyflogs.com. At gmail.com.
Yep.
Hogs, Cogs and Tourseyflogs at gmail.com. Send it to us there. You can send pictures, you can send video, you can send documents, whether it be whatever format you want.
Yep.
All right. Just take into account things like distances you're going to travel in the day, what you're going to see on the way, what biker-friendly places you're going to see on the way, where you're going to stay, all that sort of thing.
What you're going to take?
Yeah. Be as detailed or as undetailed as you like. At the end of the day, we're going to put them all together. We're going to see which one we think is the best, most attractive for anyone to do.
Yep.
And that person will win a big prize, mate.
Yep.
I've already got Resurgence Jeans on board,
Yes.
so you'll be at least walking away with a $300 voucher from Resurgence Jeans, and there will be more to add to that as the weeks go on. So that's going to go for a while. So if you've been thinking about doing one, get it in. All right, because it's going to be a ripper one.
Yep.
So it's a nice, easy one, mate. Now, last week we introduced a new member to the team.
Yes.
Chop
And Christy.
Chop and Christy. Now, last week they went to an event at the Grey Gums Cafe. Now, if anyone doesn't know what the Grey Gums Cafe is, it's on the Putty Road.
Yep.
And if you don't know about the Putty Road, trust me, I rode the Putty Road once. Great bit of road. And there's between Singleton and I can't remember what's at the other end, but absolute ripper length of road. And on that road is the Grey Gums Cafe. And they've been looking after bikers and been biker friendly for, as long as I know, mate.
Yeah.
But they're in a bit of strife. They're in a bit of strife for two reasons. One, they've gone through 3 floods, a couple of bushfires, and the spicy flu.
Yep.
And a lot of bikers that used to go there haven't come back.
Yep.
So financially they're struggling, and to add salt to the wounds, the prawns that the council are on them about, they want to fine them and all this sort of thing for a couple of structures, which they basically put up so that when the bikers and people go there, they can actually have somewhere to shelter.
And
they're good shelters too. But
can I just say that it's in the middle of nowhere?
It's in the middle of BF nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah. So what?
I don't understand, mate. I mean, you've got a place that's doing such good work, not just for bikers. I mean, the bloody helicopter lands there whenever there's an accident on the road, whether it be car or bike. So that's where they bring the helicopter in. And all they're doing is giving, the owners of this place grief. Dickheads. But now, there's not a lot we can do about the council being prawns. But what we can do as bikers, that if you're up there and you've got a day free,
go and visit them.
Go visit them. Open your wallet.
Yep.
Get a
drink.
Get a feed. Get a drink. It's licensed. I mean, so
I'll say it and I'll say it and I'll say it again. We have to support the places that support the biker community. Yeah. If you don't, the next thing you'll be doing is whinging that there's nowhere to go for motorbikes and yada yada yada. You have to support them. Yeah. You have to.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So Chop went up there last weekend, and he sent us a bit of a review down, a bit of a chat about it. So
let's have a look.
Over to you, Chop.
Thanks, Whitey and Paul. So we're just at Windsor McDonald's. We're meeting up a whole heap of riders here. We're riding out to Grey Gum. They want to raise some money to support Grey Gum because they're at a threat of losing the place. So need to make some funds and keep the place running. So it's a big biker cafe if you don't know. All right, so we're gearing up, getting ready to roll out, heading to Grey Gum. Give you a quick look around. A few bikes. There's a lot of camping grounds and that here too. This is the last stop for 66 kilometres. Still bikes rocking up. All right, give you a quick look at the bikes. Let's do it. So this is actually a weekend event. A lot of people camping and that. You'll see maybe in the background camping things and tents. How's this, guys, for a bar? Got Jonesy from the radio station, WSFM. What's the difference?
And these are the things that will keep Kim's business in business. Just as simple as going for a little ride. And to be quite frank, this morning when I woke up in Cronulla, it was pouring down rain. I thought, oh geez, I hope this thing's cancelled. But I'm glad that I'm here, because you know that's what it's about. Like, I ride motorbike every day to work, and I love doing that. But I don't go on big rides with other people. I don't seem to do that as much anymore.
Fall off.
Well, yes, thank you, Kim. I don't think we need to say. Don't need to talk about my accident record, but what I always like about coming up here is just seeing Kim, getting a burger, catching up with like-minded people.
All right, so the rain started hitting here. All right, back to you, Whitey and Paul. Cheers, guys.
Well, there you go, mate. And one of the blokes he actually caught up with while he was there was Jonesy.
Jonesy, from
Now,
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jonesy and Amanda, which is a New South Wales radio show.
Yep.
But Jonesy also used to do Aussie Bikers. And I'll also put the link, because Jonesy has put the first Aussie biker out for a long time, and that's his video he did on that same day. Mm-hmm. So him and Chop were having a good chat, I believe.
Yep.
And I tell you what, it'd be nice if we could get Jonesy on the show, mate, at
It would
some
be
stage,
really
because he's he's ridden for many years. And if you didn't know, he used to do, originally it was called Temporary Australians, and
Yep.
then it became Aussie Bikers. And it's the sort of show that used to be on telly, which we just don't have anything about anymore.
So Jonesy, if you're watching, we'd love to get you on the show, mate.
Yeah, we'd love to, mate. Have a look at the show notes. There's contact details there, mate. Get in contact.
There could be worse things in the world than becoming a flog, like the rest
There
of us.
is nothing better than being a big flog. So that was, thanks, Chop. Really appreciate that, mate. Great to see him come in with a cause that really needs. As you say, mate, we've got to support those that support us.
Keep saying it.
All right, mate. Now, another update. We've got some sad updates, mate. Now, the last couple of episodes we've spoken about how Vicky was killed in a motorbike accident, and both times the information I had was that it wasn't pothole related. We're now not 100% sure.
Yes.
Initially, one of the reports says that the road was in very, very average condition, so we are making some further inquiries. And God, mate, you'd hate to think that was caused just by lack of bloody roadworks, But I don't think one of us will be surprised. But we're not going to go off tap.
No.
We're not going to go off half-cocked.
No.
So hopefully we'll have a little bit more information.
I'm keeping my
next
powder
episode.
dry.
Yeah. Well, mate.
Watch this space.
Yeah. Now, another sad bit of news is a motorcyclist was killed in Yark last weekend, mate. Now, how anyone can have a crash in Yark is beyond me. And then you hear the news that it was a 42-year-old scumbag from Seymour had stolen a car or a ute from Euroa about an hour before.
Wasn't he out on bail?
Yeah, he was out on bail. Of course he was out on bail, mate. Everybody's out on bail.
Right.
And, of course, he decides just going into Yark that he'll just cross onto the other side of the road straight in front of a young Harley rider, and sadly killed him outright. You know.
So
I just don't get it, mate.
here's my next question.
How are these pricks out on bail when they're
Well, here's my next question.
going?
So what's the worst he's going to cop?
Unlikely he'd get culpable driving. I think he'd probably get manner dangerous or something like that. Couple of years at worst.
It's an absolute...
Because unless he was stoned. If he was stoned or drunk at the time, then you're looking at culpable driving, and I believe that's up to 12 or 14 years jail.
Okay.
No one gets that.
No.
No one will get that, mate. He'd
So
be lucky if he gets 7.
We don't have a thing in Australia, because the states have got vehicular homicide, haven't they?
We don't have vehicular homicide. Well, certainly not in Victoria.
Well.
So culpable driving is the most serious motoring thing you can do wrong, and quite frankly, I've got a mate in the police force, and he says, really, if you're not drunk or stoned off your brain, chances of getting culpable driving are very, very slim.
Well, I reckon it's just...
It's bloody ridiculous.
It's disgusting. I mean, again, out on bail, they let these blokes... Like, you know, everybody trying to lock them up, and these pricks are out.
Yep. And...
Another one.
Some more sad news. The boys at Empire Harley contacted us tonight, and let me bring up bear with me 1 second. So a young bloke by the name of Connor Murphy, who is a young Harley rider up at Bendigo Way, was sadly killed in a petrol station, hit by a vehicle in a petrol station last Saturday, I believe. And all I remember saying is that was down at Kangaroo Flat. And I know they said that the driver of the other vehicle was taken into custody. So that only tells me one thing, really, is he's probably... I can't speculate, mate.
Yeah.
But the reality is no one gets...
Taken into custody.
Unless they're a piece of shit.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's another one. Now, what they've asked us is Connor's funeral is on Saturday the 18th, so next Saturday. Mm-hmm. And they said asked for support of family and friends in a bid to fare him good support of family and friends to bid him a good farewell. So if you're up that way on Saturday, all bikes and trikes are welcome regardless of make and model. So let's give this bloke a good send off, and hopefully some justice will be done, mate. Now there's also a GoFundMe page for him because he had a young family. So I'll put a link to that GoFundMe in the show notes. But again, I mean, we're now looking at 3 different deaths in the last couple of weeks, and not one of them, by the looks of it, was either the rider's fault
or the bike's fault.
Or the bike's fault, and something's got to be done about, the way people are punished, because we don't want to go through another situation like we went through last year with Jarman.
Yep. With
his bloke getting off scot-free for what was as an incompetent piece of driving as you could probably imagine.
Yep.
So that still pisses me off, quite frankly, the whole thing. Anyway, that's enough of the death and destruction. As I said, I'll put the links to both. If I can, I'll get a link to the funeral so you know where to go for that, and I'll also put a link to the if you got a few extra cents, guys, jump on the bloody GoFundMe page and help that family out, because they're going to be going through hell at the moment.
Yep.
All right, merchandise, mate. I've got some more good news.
Yes.
Hopefully by the time this is up, but at least by the end of this week, we're going to have our own shop.
Yep.
We're going
online.
We're going commercial online. And to celebrate going commercial online, not only do we have our cups, our T-shirts, our stubby holders, what else we got? Our badges and our stickers.
Yes.
We now have something new for the Flogs that you might want in the discerning man cave. We now have Hogs, Cogs and 2 Aussie Flogs man cave signs.
How cool are they?
A4 size, Printed on, they're not just cheap tin, mate. These are printed on perspex.
Yep.
And they are, I reckon they're pretty cool, mate. What do you reckon?
I reckon they're grouse.
Well, I've already got one up at home in my man cave area.
Yep.
And these are going to be for sale on the site as well. So they're going to be $30.
Beautiful.
And they come pre-wrapped. So they won't get scratched or anything on the way to you.
Yep.
So $30 plus postage.
Is
All the details will be on the site, on the new
Hogs, Cogs and 2 Aussie Flogs.
2 Aussie Flogs.
Is it Harley Davidson or Harley Davidson?
It's Harley. Did I say?
No.
Are you I'm being picked on again.
Made you look.
Yeah, nasty man. So yeah, and don't forget.
How much? $30 plus postage.
$30 plus postage, and of course, if you buy a number of things, we'll keep the postage to a minimum.
Yep.
We'll try and keep it to a minimum because we don't want to. We're not making any money out of this stuff really. We just want to, push the show out there. So that's great. Oh, now one thing we haven't discussed of late, mate. I was looking at I'm a figures man. Mm-hmm. I was looking at the tailgunner's figure just the other day, so I must be. But one of the things I'm finding, mate, is that probably about 85% of the people that are watching this show don't hit that little subscribe button.
Yep.
Now, let me just say, that doesn't cost a cent.
It says subscription.
It does. It's a stupid thing. It should be called Friend Whitey.
And I know Flogs our age, subscription generally means you're paying for something.
You're paying for nothing.
It is completely free.
100%.
Everything's free.
And we don't, by the way, suck your information out and start selling it off. But you don't have to give your email address or anything. You hit that subscription button, and what it will do, and then if you hit the little bell as well, it'll actually tell you when the next episode's out. All right? But what it does for us is an awful lot.
Yeah.
It will help the channel grow. And the more we grow, the more we're able to have people come and give us better bargains for you, better offers, better competitions, all that sort of thing.
Guys, the only way we can cover any costs of this show is by the meagre amount that YouTube pays us for the.
It's massive, mate.
We're like
it paid for 2 of my trips over here last month.
Yeah. So
I came over 6 times.
What do we get? It's around about what are you?
How much are we making? No, well, mate, I wouldn't book the trip to Barbados just yet.
Is it $50?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. It's about $50 to $80 a month or something.
Yeah.
So YouTube, you hear a lot about people making a lot of money on YouTube. Trust me, we're not doing this for the money because we sure as shit ain't making any money. I think last month alone, my e-tag bill was about $160, and my share of the $100 was $50. So it means I'm only about $110 in the red.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It's not about the money.
No, we're doing this. We're doing this for.
We want to put a bit back into the community.
It's just that by you subscribing and it costing you nothing. Hopefully YouTube pays us a little bit more, which means we can do more stuff. Like we want to get more equipment. We want to get, better stuff to show you.
And more importantly, I mean, by subscribing, because we get the same whether they're subscribed or not, really.
Yep.
But it doesn't give us that punch to be able to say, hey, look, we've now got 5,000 members or whatever.
Because then we can go to these different manufacturers and all and say, listen, look, we've got 5,000 guys that are flogs that are
watching this on a regular basis.
And what sort of deal can we get for them? So that's what it's about.
It costs you nothing, but it does an awful lot for the show, and hopefully we'll be able to bring a lot more stuff to you.
That's the point.
Quite frankly, there's not much else out there at the moment.
No.
So anyway, get on board. Please hit that subscribe button and hit the little notification bell too. That'd be really cool. Talking about the merchandise, anyone that spends more than $20 gets a free Hogs, Cogs and 2 Aussie Flogs sticker as well. You put it on your bike, put it on your helmet, put it on your fridge.
Put it on your missus' bum.
Yep. Now, speaking of beautiful things, our mate Bert, over in Tassie,
and
Annie,
Bert and Annie,
but Bert's been on a ride.
Yes.
Let's go and see Bert's ride.
Everybody's favourite section of the Tassie segment. Need a route? Look no further. Come to Tassie, where every road is memorable. Big Bert will share some more details.
Thanks, Annie. Tonight's ride, St Mary's Pass, from St Mary's down to Tasman Highway to the Powermouth turn-off. Hell yeah! And we're on the coast. Whew. Another great little Ovacon ride here in Tassie.
If you are from the mainland, check out the Spirit of Tasmania. They have some specials at the moment. It's cheerio, au revoir, bye, ciao ciao from this flog.
Another good one from Bert, mate.
Absolute ripper.
I tell you what, he gets a few kilometres up.
Yes.
He works
yes,
full
does.
time, and he says, you know, it's a hard life. I've got to ride around Tassie all the time, but
Yeah,
someone's
shocking.
got to do it.
Shocking.
Bastard. We're going to get over there soon.
Yes.
In fact,
Bert, we're coming.
Bert, we're coming. The flogs are coming.
Yes.
We're looking at somewhere in February.
Yes.
We're looking at 7 days.
Yes.
We're looking at getting on the boat in Geelong, heading over, riding around for hopefully 6 days or 7 days, and coming back.
Invading.
So-
the
so
flog army is invading.
We will have some dates for you, hopefully next episode or the one after that, but we will have some dates coming up. So save some holidays if you're interested in coming. We'll probably have to limit the number of people that can go because we don't want to have, it's just too hard to organise
Accommodation.
100 people, and accommodation's difficult. But what we'll do is we will get the dates out there and get the instructions out there. Speaking of instructions, I'm going to start putting on the Facebook group, the Hogs, Cogs and Two Aussie Flogs Facebook group, there's a files tab if you look just above where all the crap goes. And if you tick on files, I'm going to start putting the instructions to all the competitions and rides and all that sort of stuff in there. There's already a couple of things in there. We've already got how to behave at an accident scene, as in how to gather evidence so that when the coppers get there, you can say, right, I've got this, and it will help the downed rider a whole lot.
Yep.
And a lot of that was run past Ruby McGee down at Geelong.
Yep.
At the solicitors down there.
Morris Blackburn.
So that's a really interesting one to have. Well worth printing off and sticking in your pannier bag, quite frankly. All right. So that's that. Geez, mate, we're getting to the end.
Holy moly.
Rallies, runs and events.
Let's hit it.
Now, let's start off with the Victorian ones.
Yep.
All right. So on the 18th of May, we have Melbourne Ulysses Club are running a ride from Werribee South McDonald's to Colac and back, leaving at 1000. Our kickstand's up at 1000 hours. Sorry, that's on the 19th of May.
Yep.
On the 18th of May, Melbourne Bike Night's back.
Yes.
But not at Melbourne.
No.
This one's interesting because this is going to be at 40 Corporate Drive, Everton. They're going to have a show and shine, industry stands and food trucks. Now, it's not far from my place, mate. I might have to get along to that one.
I think we're going to come across too.
Well, okay. Well, we might go out, have a meal, go for a ride up to Melbourne Bog Night. Can't go wrong by that, mate. Then we have on the 19th of May, we also have the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride out at Bendigo. Walla Reality, 108 Paul Mall, Bendigo is where it's leaving from. Join hundreds of thousands of dapper gentlefolk in the world's most stylish on-road charity event. And it's raising money for Movember.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool, and you can just go to www.gentlemansride.com to see all the information about that. So that's the 19th. Then on the 26th, we have 3 events. So first of all, this is a big one, mate, for the boys up near Bright.
Yep.
It's the 2024 North East Victoria Blanket and Jacket Ride. So this is basically collecting, warm jackets and blankets for some homeless and people that are struggling.
I think Hoggy's running that, isn't he?
I think Hoggy's got something to do with it, that's for sure. So the Beechworth Salvos distribute the donations.
Hope he doesn't take that bloody Norton.
Norton, my friend. Okay, so they're leaving from Albury Wodonga. It's Freddy's Cafe at 9. Wangaratta riders meet at the APCO Servo at 9 and depart at 9:45 for Ovens, and then everybody else meet at the Happy Valley Hotel in Ovens. Happy Valley Hotel we went to lunch at while we were up at Brighter Days, mate.
Cracking place.
Right? And at 10:30, that's where that will depart. It's actually departing at 11 a.m. Kickstand's up at 11 a.m. So they asked people bring along beanies, scarves, jumpers, long sleeve shirts, gloves, all those sorts of things that help someone in winter stay warm.
Yep.
So that's just once again, mate, bikers getting out there and actually doing things for the community.
Yep.
Lovely to see. 26th of May, we have the Two Worlds Jordan Frank singles launch and cherry ride. Now, it's a long story, but basically what happened is on the 17th of March, Eugenio Houston, better known to the community as G, was involved in a traumatic accident. He's the loving father and proud owner of the Parade Espresso Bar in Ocean Grove, and is also owns the apparel brand Chopped and Bopped. He's left him with some severe injuries, including his leg, brain, and the spine. So he's slowly recovering through physiotherapy and the like. And also a local singer by the name of Jordan Frank has decided to come together as an active community, creating a fundraising event to help relieve some of the financial strain on G. So once again,
Bikers
getting together and helping one of our own that's gone down. So that's in leaving in Ocean Grove, and that's at 26th of May. So all the details of this are on the Victorian Motorcycle Rallies Runs and Events page on Facebook. If you're not a member, why not?
Now, I've got one as well.
Well, I've got one more left in Victoria, mate.
Yep.
No, wait a sec, that's the blanket ride. So, no, that's it. That's it
All right.
for us. Now we got, what else is going on? Well,
Wait a
there is
sec.
one more.
Yeah, there is one more.
Yes.
I'll grab it. Now, my mate Luke at the Vietnam Veterans and Veterans MC has the 20th anniversary. He asked me to put this up early because there's going to be a lot of interest in it. It's on the 6th of July.
Yep.
Having a party. Location 199 Princess Way, Longwarry North, Victoria.
So it's just out of Pakenham, isn't it?
Correct. There's swag camping available. Swag and camping available.
Yeah.
There's bands, food, bar facilities available. Starting at 3 p.m. on the 6th of July.
Cool.
So that should be pretty cool. So guys, if you want to get down there, by all means, head down there.
What have they got happening there?
There's bands and food and bar facilities and
$15 entry? That's cheap as chips.
Yep, it's a bargain, I reckon.
Support our local veterans, mate.
Yep.
So that's the Vietnam Veterans and Veterans
MC,
Motorcycle Club.
correct.
So
correct.
they do a heap of stuff down there at Longwarry, mate.
They do. It's
so that's pretty cool.
now there's no BYO, no pets, and no glass. That's fair enough.
It's reasonable.
Well,
No worries.
We wouldn't want all us nuts walking around with glass. Would you imagine the mess trying to clean up after that shit?
I'm not very good.
So guys,
Objects. That sounds grouse, mate.
yeah,
That sounds like a good night.
That's the 6th of July. So we'll actually remind you as well. I'm pretty sure it'll be on the Victorian Rallies Runs and Events as well. But I just promised Luke that I would put it up this week just to get everybody a big heads up because it's coming up.
Chuck it in the calendar.
Now, on the there's another one we had two come through, which was the another veterans one.
Which was 6th of July.
That's the 6th of July. That was the...
Oh, that's the 20th anniversary. That's right.
Yep.
That is on the Rally Runs and Events, but also On the 7th of June,
Yes.
the Veterans Motorcycle Club Vic chapter had their 10th anniversary. Now that's out at Factory 2215 Macquarie Place in Baronia.
Yep.
So I might have to get along and have a look at that, mate, because that's just down the road from me.
Yep. Now, Luke keeps telling us to come down. So Friday nights, they do something Friday. We're
Down
all welcome.
Long-
At
Long
Long Warrior
Murray,
every
yeah.
Friday night. So if you want to pop down Friday nights and have a look, we might try and get down there one night. Lucas said to me, when are you coming? I said, mate, we are so busy, guys. It's like today, for example. Today we thought we were going to be gone for 2 hours. We didn't get back. We didn't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner didn't commence till 7:30.
I was famished.
We've been going all day.
Yeah.
So
But we're not complaining.
We're not
'cause
complaining.
We've had a bloke, hey, geez, mate. Oh, poor me. I've got to spend the day with Cole down at Geelong Harley at his place, looking at his collection of bikes, which are out of this freaking world.
It just goes to show, you know,
Poor me.
something like that. We'll go to that, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden the day ended up
Yeah.
not taking 2 hours.
Yeah, we
were there all
apologise
day.
if we can't get to everything.
We try,
We do
we
our
try.
best, and all these things, like as you say, mate, down at Long Warrior, it's on our list.
Yeah.
It's definitely on our list, and there's no one we want to support more than veterans. So
100%.
we will be there shortly.
Yep.
And things will calm down a little bit shortly because the weather's going to.
Yeah,
there's
right.
going to be less events.
Okay.
That's what they keep telling me. That's what they keep telling me, mate. So absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
Now there was an event in New South Wales too that we wanted to talk about, and I saved that in my. Bear with me.
The dog and bone?
In my dog and bones, because I thought, oh, I must mention that because that looks pretty cool. So let's go to.
Working like,
Here we go. No.
working like a well-oiled machine, we are.
Well, I got absolute. My computer hates me. What is wrong with this crap? Here we go. So this one's for the 18th of May, 8 a.m. at the Tarralon Bowling Club in York Street, Terrelba, New South Wales. So it's Terrelba Bowling Club, York Street, Terrelba, New South Wales. It's the 100-mile ride, and it's held by BACA, the Newcastle chapter.
Yep.
So everybody knows that from last week we had the boys from BACA in.
Yep.
So this is the Newcastle chapter of Bikers Against Child Abuse, and they're running a 100-mile ride. And lunch and drinks and drinks after breakfast. So there's plenty to do there. There's phone numbers. So again, go to the Victorian Rallies runs an event. Oh, you can't. This is New South Wales. That's no good. All right, give Gator a call. A bloke by the name of Gator on 0481 164 424, and I'll put a link to this flyer in the show notes. Yep. So if you're up around Newcastle way or around Sydney's only an hour and a half away.
Get along, little doggy.
So you're just down the road, mate. Yep. Get on down and support these blokes because as you saw last week, BACA are doing an absolutely tremendous job, mate. So it's 8 a.m. Kickstands up at 10 on May the 18th. Now, there's only one less thing we forgot to do, mate.
What's that?
Well, you know, last week we announced that we're going to be running a big raffle and the money's going to go to BACA.
Yes.
So this is a good time to talk about this. The main prize in that is a $1,200 or 8-hour session to go and get a little bit of artwork done on your skin.
Yep.
So I nicked out, as I do, to Howling Wolf Tattoos out in Yarra Junction 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
The pain's nearly subsided. But while I was out there, I had a quick chat with Chris.
Yep.
So let's have a quick look at that. All right, guys, we're here with Chris at Howling Wolf Tattoos in Yarra Junction. G'day, mate. How you going?
I'm not too bad.
Yeah, I was saying g'day. He's just spent about a couple of hours inflicting torturous pain on me once more.
Well, but I enjoyed it.
He had a smile on his face the whole time. Mate, just wanted to come by anyway and thank you for the kind donation which we're going to put towards that raffle, which is the tattoo prize. Do you want to tell us what?
Yeah, sure. First off, such a great cause for the raffle to go towards. I couldn't think of a more worthy cause. So the prize that we're offering, Howling Wolf Tattoos, is a full day set. which consists of 8 hours of torture or tattooing. But for that, you can get a pretty decent sized piece, which is really good. Whatever style, whatever you want to get. And along with that, a prize pack, which includes some merchandise, t-shirts, beanies.
Mate, that's absolutely fantastic. Look, I think people are going to snap up these raffle tickets. I'm apparently not allowed to buy one, but I know family members are very, very keen to get on board, mate. So when the tickets come out, make sure you grab yourself one or two or maybe three, because that's tattooing to the value of about, what, $1,200?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
get on board.
That's a whole lot of pain, mate. But that's a whole lot of tattoo too. Thanks very much, mate. We appreciate your support once again. And yeah, back to the studio.
Cool.
So again, look, that family, Chris and Faye, have gone through an awful lot, mate, and yet they still step up and are supporting the biker community, which is absolutely fantastic. And they are ripper people, mate. I've become very good friends with them, and they are ripper people. No matter how much pain and punishment he inflicted on me for about 4 hours the other day. Who decides to do that for a job? You might as well be a dentist, quite frankly. just evil. But apart from that, he's a lovely bloke.
Yep.
So, so we'll again put some more details on the Facebook page, and we'll talk about that competition a little bit. We don't want to have too much going on at once, so we've got to get some raffle tickets made up and get it all sorted, and we'll talk about that in the next couple of episodes, mate. But thanks again to Howling. Well, you can see I've got my nice new Howling Wolf top on, mate.
Very nice. Very nice.
It is.
Very nice.
Makes me look slim, don't you think?
No.
Very nasty man. Well, I think that's it.
Well, that's it from me.
That's it from me.
That's it from Hogs.
Cogs.
And 2 Aussie Flogs.
Ciao.
See you guys.